Starcasting to you from the City of Angels. Hello, everyone. I'm Kiris. Thank you so much for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. This is your astrology cosmic superpower for the week beginning Sunday, July 28th through Saturday, August 3rd, 2024. Let's journey together with astrology and explore how to connect with the stars, the planets, the energies for our new week ahead. For the rest of July and into August, we have 2 meteor showers joining forces. This will illuminate the night sky. We've got the Delta Aquariid meteor shower meeting up with the Perseids meteor shower. They are highest in the night sky at your local time zone around 2 a.m. On July 28th, as we begin the week, we have the last quarter moon rising after midnight, your local time, and sets around noon. Now, the last quarter moon is highest in the sky just before dawn. For July 29th through the 31st of July, we've got Venus, the love relationship planet, and Mercury, the messenger, the communicator, close together. They are hanging low in the west. Half an hour after sunset, Venus and Mercury are in the west and they are visible. Look for them at the time of twilight. The 7 originals that you can see with your own eyes without aid of telescope or binoculars are the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. We start off the week with the Sun at home in his castle in the sign of Leo, his domicile where he is powerful and expressive. The moon, as we start off the week, is exalted in the sign of Taurus, ruled by Venus. Mercury has entered its exaltation and domicile placement in the sign of Virgo. Venus is too hot to handle. Pay attention to me in the sign of Leo. Mars has left his detriment in the sign of Taurus and is now in mutable air Gemini. Jupiter is in its detriment in the sign of Gemini, and Saturn is retrograde in the sign of Pisces. Sunday, July 28th, we are in the last quarter moon cycle, last quarter moon to new moon. Now, when we move from fourth quarter to new moon, we are wrapping things up. This is the time to finalize something, complete something, make a final decision about something. The moon during the last quarter is winding down. She is completing her journey that began at the time of the new moon in the sign of Cancer that we had on July 5th. So as the moon is wrapping up, decisions about home and family, decisions about where you live, the location, how you live. And these are very emotional decisions because the new moon was in the sign of sensitive, caring, emotional Cancer. Decisions about what brings you peace, what gives you a sense of safety and self-assurance. This was the new moon in the sign of Cancer. Now today, with the moon exalted in Taurus, making a square aspect of activity to Venus in Leo, decisions about the relationships in your life, all of the relationships, not just the primary partnership marriage relationship, but decisions about the relationships in your life that either give you peace of mind, this is Venus, or the relationships that do not bring peace, calm, and peace of mind. The moon is what we need. It is exalted in the sign of Taurus today, ruled by Venus. That's that relationship signature. So the desire to have relationships in your life that not only bring us happiness and joy, but that bring peace. With this moon square Venus, this is the desire to have and or complete relationships that are too disturbing, that upset you, that perhaps are too dramatic. Now, the moon exalted in Taurus is very sensual. It's down to earth, common sense. It also is fixed. Moon in Taurus, Venus in Leo. These are fixed signs of the zodiac, meaning the intention is for something to last and stand the test of time. These are the fixed signs of the zodiac. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. They want something to be safe and secure and fixed. So it is not easy for fixed signs of the zodiac to let go or say goodbye to a relationship that has been set into place. But these astrological alignments are the energy of making a decision, a final decision, that a certain relationship in your life, and again, this could be love, work, friendship, whatever it may be, that a certain relationship or certain relationships either have to change and or will end at this time because of the way they are not bringing you peace of mind. There are certain relationships in life that do run their course. Sometimes we know someone for a very short period of time, yet it changed the whole direction of our life. Some relationships in life are lifers. They're there through our whole life through, and we are there for them, for their whole life. So the decisions to make as we are winding down in relationship area is, what are the relationships that have run their course for whatever reason? We learn the lesson, bless the situation, and then know it is time to say goodbye. Monday, July 29th, we still have the moon exalted in Taurus making a conjunction to Uranus, the divorce planet in Taurus. So this sudden, abrupt ending, separation, divorce is followed by the moon in Taurus making a sextile aspect to Neptune in Pisces. So if you're feeling blindsided, I didn't see that ending happening, then know that after that separation aspect, the moon making this sextile aspect of opportunity to Neptune in Pisces, which is the dream, the vision for the future. Know that this opportunity, this is the 60-degree angle, is there to feel your emotions, but also to see that there comes a time when we just don't share the same dream, the same vision for the future. That is one of the key components to being in a relationship and the ending of a relationship. We just don't see how we want to move into the future the same way. We don't share the same dream, we could say. Wants and needs and hopes and wishes for the future, they change all the time during the course of a lifetime. Later on Monday, July 29th, we have the moon moving into mutable air light Gemini. This is the supportive energy, the cosmic power to finalize and negotiate deals. This can be any kind of contract having to do with purchasing a car, property, perhaps negotiating a business deal. The moon in Gemini is that energy, that power of making the changes and adapting to certain circumstances. It is very supportive with the moon in Gemini to express what it is that you would like the outcome, the completion to be in a negotiating business deal. With the moon in Gemini, which is the communicator, Mercury, the messenger, at its best for everyone to walk away from a negotiating table to be happy and satisfied with the deal is a wonderful outcome. Now, if you are offered a great deal or potentially a great deal with the moon in Gemini today, making an air trine flow to Pluto in Aquarius. Now, these two air signs with intense, powerful Pluto at the negotiating table. Keep an eye out for a deal, a negotiation that could transform your whole life in the area that involves the air element of communication. Also on this day, we've got the moon in Gemini making a square aspect to Gemini's ruler Mercury, now in its shadow storm period, meaning Mercury slowing down before it goes fully retrograde from our perspective. Mercury in Virgo is its domicile and exaltation. So the moon, which is your intuition and how you are finalizing and negotiating a deal with this square aspect, that is the action of saying, I want more research, I want more information, give me the facts. Virgo is very scientific and also paying attention to all of the little details that mean so much. So before you sign on the dotted line, as we are completing a deal this week, make sure, double check that all of the details, all of the facts, the science of what it is that you are negotiating. You can speak up with Mercury, of course, and say, I need more information before I finalize this deal this week. Gemini has to do with travel, short trips, transportation, airline flights. If you are traveling and making a deal on a travel arrangement, get the information first. One of my clients, for instance, and she is a Cancer with that new moon in Cancer that we had, is making arrangements to move back to the States from Portugal. She's moving back to Las Vegas and traveling and moving with 5 pets. So this week, for instance, as we are completing things, and the moon in Gemini is superb energy to get all the information, to compare the prices of the flights, and to finalize these types of travel deals. Tuesday, July 30th, we've got the moon and the sun making an opportunity sextile aspect to each other. We've got the moon in mutable air Gemini making a sextile to the sun at home in fixed fire Leo. The two luminaries making this favorable aspect to each other is bringing into harmony and balance the inner and the outer, the masculine and the feminine, the head and the heart being in harmony and saying yes. Also, we've got Venus and Leo making a fire trine flow to Chiron and Aries, the wounded healer. So a new sense of self and how you want to express yourself. This is Venus trine Chiron, a new identity. The moon in Gemini then makes a conjunction to Jupiter in its detriment of Gemini, and the moon in Gemini makes a square aspect to Saturn in Pisces retrograde. Do not let yourself be overwhelmed with too many choices and decisions and too much information coming at you that confuses you more than helps you. You can sort it all out and you don't have to make the decision in that moment. Wait and see it through, because the sun and the moon in sextile with each other, that is the yes, I am good, I am in harmony with the decision that I want to make in the area of completing something. But then there is all this information coming at you all at once, where you can take your time and sort through it so that you don't, one, feel overwhelmed, and also so that you don't make a decision based on Jupiter's detriment in the sign of Gemini. Wednesday, July 31st, we have the moon going home to the sign of cardinal water, Cancer. Now, the moon in Cancer is deeply intuitive. It's being connected to self-care, your emotions, how you feel, your hunches and instincts that always guide you correctly. No matter what anyone else says, you listen to your own intuition and guidance first and foremost. Now we are approaching the new moon. We are going towards what's called the balsamic dark side of the moon, where it is about the inner reflection and feeling into Moon in Cancer. Feeling into big decisions you're going to make as far as what it is that you need to care for yourself. So many times, and especially with my mom clients, for them to take a couple of hours once a week where it's about them, and maybe they go to a yoga class or have lunch with their friends. So many moms, and Cancer is the sign that rules over mom, home, family, babies. So many moms will express to me the guilt that they feel when they just take maybe a couple of hours once a week for self-care. Now, if we don't care for ourselves first, we simply get depleted and we don't have it to give. So during this week of finalizing all different kinds of plans, the moon going home to Cancer is being in touch with how you feel, your emotional body, and what it is that you need to do. The moon is what we need. We can't survive without it. We need it like food, water, and air. We need. And so the moon is what you need for self-care. And sometimes, even if it is just carving out half a day, an afternoon, to pamper yourself, to hang out with friends, to unplug from the dailiness of life, the busyness of how people are always working and busy. This moon in Cancer is that component here, to care for yourself and really be kind to yourself emotionally. Thursday, August 1st already, we still have the moon in Cardinal Water Cancer making a sextile aspect of opportunity to Mercury in Virgo. Now, the moon in Cancer and the sign of Cancer is ruled by the moon, and the moon fluctuates. It changes all the time. The moods, the emotion of the sign of Cancer change and fluctuate. Cancer is moody. Now, with this moon sextile Mercury, Cancer ruling over food, Virgo ruling over what is healthy, what is toxic. Cancer initiates and leads us into something new. They take charge. They are the boss. And so initiating, making that final decision about what foods you are considering giving up, and or what foods, what dietary needs you will add in a healthy way to your diet. Because we know now that the foods we eat do affect how we feel, the moods, and the body. So what a fabulous aspect here. Moon in Cancer, sextile Mercury in Virgo, which is the mind and decision making, to finally wrap this up as we approach the new moon and say, yes, I'm going to stop eating too much of such and such. Yes, I'm going to add something healthy to the diet that builds strength and nutrients. For instance, I don't know if you like avocados, but avocados are packed with nutrients and they are so filling. If you eat one a day or just add that to your diet, this is just one little, for instance, but making that decision to add something to your diet that is beneficial not only to your health and your stomach, Cancer rules over the stomach, but to regulate and help with certain moods that can happen when, obviously, if it's too much junk food or too much sugar, you can make this decision as we have this moon in Cancer, sextile Mercury in Virgo. Friday, Venus's day, August 2nd, we have the moon in Cancer making a water trine flow to Saturn retrograde in Pisces, and the moon in Cancer making a sextile aspect to Uranus in Taurus. Now, the Uranus planet energy is the sudden change, the sudden disruption, separating from something. The moon sextile Uranus in Taurus is really good because Taurus, ruled by Venus, rules over sugar. So separating from something that can be too indulgent, too much of the sweet stuff. This is a nice supportive aspect. The moon trine Saturn in the water element can also be where perhaps you're simply just dehydrated. You don't drink enough water, and these are the water components. The moon in Cancer will also make a square aspect to Chiron in Aries. Now, Chiron in Aries is a new look, a new sense of yourself. It brings in a new strength. These are two cardinal signs of the zodiac, Cancer and Aries. They usher in new times, new chapters of our life, and a square is not always a negative aspect. It's an activating aspect, which says, yes, I have the momentum, I have the decision that I will take action for better health and better well-being. We are now a couple days before the new moon. We are now in that dark balsamic moon phase where not forcing an issue, not trying to push something through. It's the end of the new moon journey that we had back with the new moon in Cancer on July 5th. So go easy on yourself. If someone wants to argue with you, get into it with you, disturb your peace, do what the moon in Cancer does best. Take care and be very in touch and sensitive to your emotions. Saturday, we are closing out the week, and as we close out the week, we have the moon entering fixed fire Leo, loyal Leo that rules over the heart. Now, the moon in Leo is very playful. It brings out the inner child that wants to and needs to have fun. And with the astrological alignments and being on the dark side of the moon, like right before the new moon and Mercury stations retrograde, this can be a lot of fun at home with family and friends and the familiar. The moon is making an opposition to Pluto in Aquarius. The moon then makes a sextile aspect to Mars in Gemini. This is a lot of conversation, a lot of debate in a fun way, not a harmful way, where the exchange of ideas and thoughts and matters of the heart and how you truly feel can be so much fun. Just have it be done in a safe and familiar environment, because the moon opposition Pluto, that's the potential to get into some type of power struggle over a difference of opinions. So have some fun, close out the week, perhaps with finalizing a creative project. Now, what is more fun than that, than creating? This is the sun, this is Leo, creating something, working on something that you love, and wrapping it up, finishing it up, putting on the final little touches that mean so much on a creative project that you've been working on. The moon in Leo is a very expressive and creative way to close out this week right before the new moon that we have coming up. Thank you, everyone, for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. I will see you all in the stars. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you.